Impact segment tonight, it's becoming very clear that the Occupy Wall Street crew is not a spontaneous citizen-driven movement. Here's more proof. Listen to protester Safia Albaiti from the International Socialist Organization.
Since the Obama administration was elected on an anti-war platform, thousands of Afghans and Pakistanis and Yemenis have been killed. The wars are an inevitable part of this system, and the system needs to be ended so that we no longer have wars as an inevitability of our lives, that our children no longer have to keep living in a planet that's slowly getting annihilated and destroyed. We are many, you are few. Get the out of the entire world.
So what does that have to do with Wall Street? Joining us now from Washington, Fox News analyst Laura Ingraham.
Woo! That was inspiring.
Power
oh, my goodness. Move
right
over,
on.
Sophocles.
But, you know,
that was great.
I said this from the very beginning, and I think we talked about it with you. This isn't about Wall Street. It's not about economic justice. This is just an amalgamation of all of these anti-capitalistic people, anti-American people, whatever.
Well, Bill,
and there they are. There they are. Now they're coming out.
Bill, most of these people don't even, I would submit, don't even know the rudimentary teachings of capitalism. I think they've heard about capitalism, and they think it's something. They don't really know what it is because they're all punching out their tweets on their iPhones, and they're getting big trucking companies to bring in their free sleeping bags, and they have huge restaurant, groups bringing in free food, and these are all companies, these are all part of the free market, and they're all kind of like supporting them. So the idea that it's anti-capitalist, I think you're right. There's a deep strain, and it's a nutty strain, and it's very helpful to the Republican strain of deeply anti-American folks down there. I'm sure there's some good people, but there's deep anti-Americanism going on. And it's great. It's
right.
Great
there
for
are
the
some people who feel aggrieved and feel that the system has to be revamped and more protection given to the workers, and that's certainly legitimate. But the drivers behind it, the money behind it, is all far left.
Big money.
Now, I'm going to ask you a speculative question that I don't usually do, but we have some very, very interesting video from Greece today where there are riots and burning down. Let's roll that video. All right, this is what happens right here in Greece. This is what happens when the far left gets out of control and takes over. And then you tell them, no, we can't afford your entitlements anymore. We can't afford your economic justice, your social justice. And they say, you know what? We're burning down the town. This is going on right now.
This is what happens when there is no rule of law. This is what happens when protesters are able to intimidate sometimes even police or authorities from acting because they're afraid if they do act, they're going to be branded as somehow anti-free speech or intolerant or what have you. And so the fringe, and even in Greece, that is a fringe movement in Greece, the fringe becomes the dominant force.
No, but
and
it's accepted, though, in Greece. It's accepted by many of the people. It is accepted there. That's the difference. Now, could that happen here?
I'm not sure it's as accepted as you say.
Say we have another couple of years of bad economy. Could we be seeing scenes like that here?
No, I don't think so. I really don't. I think there are elements, as you pointed out, in these protests. I was just out in L.A., and there are elements in the protests down there at Occupy L.A. that clearly want to stoke something.
30% here in New York said they want violence is okay with them.
Yeah,
that's
because I mean, most of these people have nothing better to do, and they've been itching for a fight ever since I think the Tea Party became more powerful, and the midterm elections came in, and Obama's just not working out very well for a lot of them.
I think that's
they're itching for a fight.
They want a confrontation because they're not getting what they thought they might get.
And they're going to get nothing from it. I think it's totally counterproductive.
Let's shift gears a bit. Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State, over with Karzai in Afghanistan, and Herman Cain's name comes up. Roll of tape.
What are the Republican candidates? I think it was Herman Cain.
Herman Cain, exactly.
The former pizza company executive.
Did you see that?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, yes. He started something called Godfather's Pizza.
Yes.
But the president was saying he saw this news clip about how Mr. Cain had said, I don't need to know the names of all these presidents of all these countries, like whatever.
Stands and
all these stands, places.
That wasn't right. But anyway, that's how politics are.
I think we should send pizzas to Karzai. You know,
well,
does anybody
very
deliver
dismissive.
out there?
Yeah.
He needs
Very
to get some pizza
Yeah,
and say, you know,
exactly.
this is good. Maybe we should have more capitalism here so we have lots of pizza places.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's very dismissive, right? There's no real reason that Hillary Clinton had to repeat loudly, I guess, what was mentioned earlier by Karzai. Very interesting, though. Why would Hillary Clinton go after Herman Cain? He's obviously rising in the polls. You saw the Iowa Rasmussen poll that came out. The results came out this morning. He's up over Romney. And Bill, look, I think Herman Cain, if he's going to be the serious contender that I think a lot of people think he could be, then you can't kind of blow off those questions. You have to give our allies their due respect. And Uzbekistan has actually been an important ally of ours in the war on terror. So you've got to give them their due. But nevertheless, we've had a lot of smart folks in the room, a lot of establishment types for a long time, telling us that we got to have subprime mortgages, we had to reset with Russia, China had to get into WTO, and that we could spend all this money. And guess what? All the really smart people who probably knew the names of the presidents of the stands did. Well, they got America into a position of perhaps losing her dominant status in the world. So that's why people are looking at Herman Cain. They're kind of sick of the establishment because of what they did. And Hillary Clinton, I think, is giving voice to some of maybe the White House concerns about Cain's popularity.
We'll see. Thanks. Directly.